It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
And welcome to another episode of Geek-men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm Samara.
And I'm that gatekeeping, condescending asshole Zombie 13. Welcome to ADHD Theater. Come at me, bro.
Right?
Goodness.
How we doing? How's the week treated y'all?
Good.
Oh, pretty good actually. I can't complain. I can't say my normal the horrors persist, but so do I. So I can't do that because I've actually been having a decent time. Go figure, right? I feel overwhelmed by the light right now.
No.
That's why I keep fiddling. I feel like something's off. So
No, you're good.
Past couple of episodes, you've been kind of in the dark.
I know, and it felt so peaceful.
Okay.
The girls are laughing at your colorful language.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, anyway. Girls, sometimes people say grown-up words, and you're not allowed to speak them, okay? If you do, I'll whip your butts, okay?
I'm just repeating what I was called from Monday's live stream. So.
Oh.
Yeah, that was from a past episode that he got called a gatekeeper and stuff like that. It was wild. But yeah,
it was kind of weird.
It was kind of weird.
I'm not sure what I was gatekeeping, but I mean, hey, I whatever. Yeah. It is what it is.
Whatever, yeah.
I don't really care.
So let me just do a couple things.
I wear that as a badge. Like
a badge of honor.
That's how much I don't care what other people think of me. Okay? Let's just get that straight. All right. I don't you like me? Yeah, okay, cool. You don't like me? Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't faze me like you hope it does.
Right.
Well, let's see. The girls say happy podcasting and good night. See you tomorrow. All right. Love you girls.
Good night.
Have fun at Nana's. they're at with my mom, so they're having a good time over there. So, but so just a few things I want to talk right out of business. Get right down to brass tacks, so to speak. Okay, so we played a few of the trailers earlier from our, affiliates and guest sponsors and things like that. I just want to say there's a few things that, hey, how's it going, Pops? There's a few things that I want to show off that we are sponsors of. Let me see. First one, Super 7. If you are looking for super toys for super fun times, and go use my link in the store. Let me get this out of the way. If I can
say, you got Pops.
Yeah.
Like link blocking you.
Yeah. So if you're considering buying anything from Super 7, please use my code. It's right there. Super7.com, Masters of the Thunder Nerds. So go check that out. We are also the sponsor of where'd it go? Hold it up, Pumira. BulkDominoes.com. Stack 'em high, let 'em fly is their motto. And I tell you what, the girls and I had so much fun messing with these things the other day. I actually put a link. I put a link in my Instagram and sort of showed off them playing around with them. I have more videos. We'll upload those soon, but these are really high quality, really nice dominoes, and we had so much fun. You wouldn't believe how much fun we had.
I don't believe how much fun you had. I didn't get to play with them.
Right, which is the girls keep talking to me. They're like, "Hey, you want to play with dominoes with mom? Maybe she'll want to play too." And I'm like, "Yeah, after she wakes up, we'll have to see if she wants to play." and so yeah, they're itching to get you playing with them because yeah, it's fun. It's the same link. So Masters of the Thunder Nerds, bulkdominoes.com and / Masters of the Thunder Nerds. So same link for those two. I don't know how to explain it. You just have to try them for yourself because they are so much fun. But that's my 2 cents. Undead Ramen. Okay, so he said he gets right into the movie. He says, I haven't seen The Gorge yet. Late to the party. Would y'all recommend it?
Yes.
Yes. It's definitely one you just have to see. He says, sorry, stroke typing.
Okay. Are you okay?
No. Like on the phone, there's a certain way you can.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah. You're terrible with that early as well.
I don't know. Like autocorrect is my nemesis, and it's a constant struggle for me. So I can kind of relate if it's similar to that.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No.
He says, okay, thanks. So many movies are crap lately, and then he says, hi, Madness. And so 100%. Yep. That's how things are. But okay, let's dive into what we normally do here. So let's talk what you watching. Have you got to watch anything other than the movies that we just watched for the last week?
I gotta get my head straight. Like it's been, that southern draw is coming out. Sorry. Y'all go first and let me collect my thoughts because a lot has happened this week, and I apologize if I seem distracted because I am. There's this big green winged fucking monster out there that I'm on an emotional roller coaster right now because of. So y'all go first. What you watching?
Okay, so Pumira, what have we watched?
The Reacher,
We've watched Reacher. Yep. We're caught up on that.
Tracker.
What else? That's right, Tracker. We watched the latest episode of Tracker. I haven't watched the latest episode of Invincible yet.
And Daredevil.
Yes, we did. We watched Daredevil. Yes, that's a very good point.
I forgot that one was out
March 4th. March 4th. I was excited. And what was that?
We just got Disney Plus back.
Right. We literally got Disney Plus back.
I might wait to watch that one fully when it comes,
That would probably be the best.
Yeah, but you're gonna get spoilers, and it's better.
I don't care.
No, you have to. I'm serious. Just rewatch.
Hey, Jess.
Just watch the first episode, and then you'll be through the main spoilers, because it was spoiled for me, and I was thinking, no, it can't. No, it can't. But then, sure enough, it is what it is. But oh, hey, Jess, how's it going?
I mean, it's been out since the 4th. Today's the 7th. I haven't really seen anything on it. Nobody's posting about it except. Well, yeah, I did see something where people, some jackass was saying they were disappointed with it or whatever, because it's trying to. How did they say it? That it was trying to be shoehorned into the MCU with their narratives, and it can't make up its mind if it wants to be full MCU or follow in the footsteps of the previous show. It's trying to do both and not pulling off either one or something. I don't know. Well, I quit reading after that. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care.
It gets, I'll be honest, it gets a little exhausting when you try to watch something for entertainment, and instead you're getting I don't know, maybe sort of fear-mongered or compared to. They're doing a very good job, I think, at fear-mongering or comparing this one person, Fisk, to Trump, and it feels very much heavy, politically, that at that range, at this stage. I'm hoping that they'll get over that, because I don't like to talk politics. I don't like politics at all. I don't want to sit down and watch politics unfold on my screen. It's better to just let it be. So I don't know.
I didn't put those two together, but
that's kind of the problem I had with the last season of The Boys, was they got real political with it.
Exactly.
And there was a lot
exhausting.
of I found there was a lot of underhanded jabs.
Yep.
Toward certain political things and stances and beliefs, and I was like, I get enough of that crap in real life. I don't want it in my that's not entertaining to me. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't watch politics on TV in real life. I don't care.
Hey, Flip City. Hey, Kitty.
So yeah, I don't know, and that to me kind of puts me off of going ahead and jumping into Born Again. Is I'll just wait and binge it. I don't even care about the spoilers. I haven't seriously been entertained by anything Marvel for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that kind of piqued my interest, and I just went ahead and sat through and finished it, because I said, well, I started it, I'll just go ahead and follow through on it. But there's other things I just haven't watched at all, and I don't plan on watching it, because I saw enough of what other people said, and I got the gist of, I'm not the target audience for that, and I'm not going to like that, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time. I don't have hours to waste on somebody's skewed view of something that they want to, push their opinion out on the masses, and I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Kitty Flip City says I'm rewatching the Ozark. That's one I haven't watched yet, but it's definitely one that's on my radar that I've been meaning to watch. I just haven't had the chance. So
I tried watching Venom: The Last Dance, and I I don't know if I got halfway through it or whatever. I just lost interest. I was like, wow, this is really boring. I didn't like the second movie. Good. I didn't like the second movie with Carnage. I mean, those to me, those are fumbles.
Yeah.
If you don't agree, that's fine. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, like it's one of those things like
come at me, bro. I don't, whatever.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's weird because I really want to like it, but I've watched them and they're just okay. Like, okay, it's a movie. It was somewhat entertaining. It was entertaining enough for me because I enjoyed the interaction between Venom and Eddie Brock and stuff like that. So that's how I justified watching it. But and that's why I watched the final one, The Last Dance. But yeah, Venom. Jessica says Venom was good. Second and third were Yeah.
I mean, I think the first one was good because it was new, so we were trying to navigate.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Let me eat him, Eddie.
And the whole relationship in those movies between Eddie and Venom is different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't what I was expecting. And, the portrayal of Eddie Brock, I think he's too level-headed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm used to like a version of Eddie Brock from the comics. I don't know. I don't know. That Eddie's just too friendly for me. For like the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I kind of. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I kind of took it as this was a different Eddie. He just.
Yeah, and it is. It's in a different universe. They established that. I don't know. It's different. The first one definitely was probably the best out of the three. I'd have to agree with that. Okay, so I am caught up on Invincible.
Yeah, I just haven't watched the latest episode.
Man, like last week's was like, oh, God, why did they... Like, I'd have been fine if they'd have left that part out of, like, the animated series, because I remember reading it in the book, and I'm like, geez, that is dark.
What are you referring to?
The guy with the electrical powers, the more he's impacted.
Oh, yeah.
Just I don't want to spoil that for anybody that is watching that might be tuning into us, but man,
that was brutal.
That was a hard one to watch.
What are you saying?
I said, yeah, me. Don't spoil.
Well, yeah, but you haven't really showed interest in watching it.
I know. I'm just messing.
But no, this week's it picks back up like it ramps back up in the the story for the season. So so I got caught up on that. I started watching The Walking Dead. I don't know what is the Rick and Michonne show, the ones who live.
Survivors or ones who
something like that. Yeah, so I've seen the first 2 episodes. I think it's the first 2. I don't think I've made it to 3 yet. So when I say I've watched these things, really I've just kind of had them on while I'm busy doing other stuff. Let me just be clear about that. So there's a lot of stuff that I missed, and I'm not really sure what episode I'm on, but I started that one. I tried, because I've never seen it. I tried starting True Blood, and oh my God, that show is awful.
Give it a couple more episodes.
The writing, the acting,
it is
rough.
It is cheesy.
It is.
And it's supposed to be set in Louisiana, and you're talking to somebody that lives in Louisiana, and I'm like, that ain't right.
I mean, we watched it back in the day. This was a show that Pumaira really wanted to watch.
It has not aged well, I don't think.
I don't think it has either, because I'm like thinking back and just thinking like, but I do like certain aspects of True Blood that I like to see them if they get used in future vampire movies. So I'm a big fan of just if they get bitten, nothing happens until they're completely drained and buried, then they rise up again. I'm a fan of that.
Okay.
I think that's a cool thing.
Are you that far yet?
I might have gotten, I don't know. There was a handful of episodes that played, and I was just like, what is this crap?
It took us like 6 or 7 episodes to get into it, though. I remember
it is wild to say, like, oh, give it 6 or 7 episodes. You really don't want to waste that much of your time. I know how busy you are, but it is, if you stick with it, it grows on you. But being from Louisiana, you might not be susceptible to.
I'll trust you. I'll keep it on the playlist. But man,
is Bon Tom really a city?
I know. There's all kinds of weird ass named places down here. I could pull some up on the screen, and we could have a whole show. How would you pronounce that? Just let's see how you pronounce it.
Well, we could do that the same here for you. We have a few.
Yeah.
There's like a what? How do you spell that?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're from?
There's a lot of French and Spanish influences and everything, and sometimes that gets mingled together. So there's all kinds of letters thrown in stuff, and it's like that is not how you would read that, but that's how that is said.
So back in the day when my mom used to watch soap operas, I would usually be in the room, and occasionally I would even watch them with her. So there was one episode that it just stuck, and my mom and I will say it back and forth to each other, like making fun of it, and get a good laugh at it. This dude comes back, and everyone's just like, Bayou de Gar. And then this one dude, they recast him, and he came back, and he's like, I don't know, Bayou Dugar. So it's just like he started pronouncing it like that. And so we're like, what the heck? Everyone else in the show is just like, Bayou Dugar. And they say it like that. And he's just over there, Bayou Dugar. It's, oh my God. It cracked us up so much. So we're constantly like, Bayou Dugar, back and forth laughing. It's great. But
that's funny.
Yeah, that dude. He was something else.
I want to, let's see, our comment section is over here for those that can't see them on screen.
Right.
Flip City Mag, I agree with you. I think the boys, writers, and show people seem to hate their fans. I could not agree more there. Again, I'm going to, I read the comic before the show was made. So, like, there's these just huge differences between the show and what happens in the comic book. And there's they did an animated series for the boys, and one of the episodes in that actually has like a story, like it was like a side story or something that was supposed to complement something from the comic book. And it's completely on its own standalone story, doesn't have anything to do with the TV series. The characters in that segment are from the comic book, portrayed how they were in the comic book, and I thought it was great. Give me an animated series of the comic book, like follow that story.
Yeah,
I loved it. Like there's things that are going on in the story, and it's like how, like that's not supposed to be like that. How, I don't know which direction they're gonna go, and then there's stuff in it that's not even in the comic book at all. It's like, I don't know what's going on with any of this.
Wow.
So is he like a hardcore like mommy simp or whatever? Like, does he have that mommy fetish?
So I'm assuming you're talking about Homelander.
Yeah.
So it's been a few years since I've read it. That, like the whole breast milk thing, I think is just isolated to the show. Like I don't recall that being in the comic. If it was, it wasn't like a heavy sticking point. Like in the comic, I remember mostly like Butcher has a hard on for Homelander big time because Homelander in the show is like a puppy compared to the Homelander in the comic book. Let me just, if you don't know, like the Homelander in the comic book is a brutal son of a bitch.
Okay.
Like to the point where there's stories of him. Like I can't say on YouTube because I don't want to get us canceled, but it's some horrific shit.
Oh.
So he unalives people a lot?
People of all ages. Just
okay.
Let that sink in. People of all ages. Okay. And done some horrific things to people of all age groups. I'm trying to skirt around it without actually saying it. I'm sorry. But the whole thing between Butcher and Homelander is Homelander is accused of pretty much doing what they say he did in the show, only Butcher's wife doesn't survive the ordeal.
Oh. Okay.
So that's why, like, he's out for Homelander. Yeah, like, all the way. Like, I'm going to get you one way or the other.
Right.
Another big difference is with the V in the comic books. To be a member of the boys, you have to be injected with it, and it kind of just enhances your natural abilities and everything. You don't get any kind of crazy superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's so much worse in the show, and in the comic than he is in he's a puppy dog in the show. Like he's done some horrible stuff in the show, but it's nothing like his comic book counterpart. Like I'm serious. Like it's.
Did he? Did they do the Nazi lady storyline in that?
So in the comic book, Stormfront is a man, not a woman, and they were not an item together. No.
Okay.
Like they actually didn't like each other, from what I remember. So Stormfront was a man, and he was, was it Germany or Russia where he was from? It was one of the two. I don't remember. Let's see.
We're getting a lesson on boys here for a second, y'all.
I'm sorry. We went down the boys rabbit hole. Anyway, my point is, if you haven't read the comic book and you sort of kind of like the show, like go read the comics.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like that's true for just about anything.
As crazy as the show is, the comics are crazier.
Well, I mean,
okay, like Herogasm is a whole thing on itself. Like they barely scratched the surface on the TV show because I knew it was
so much they can't tell.
I mean, and they've shown some stuff in the show. It's like, oh my god, like oh. But it's crazy. Go read the comic.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
Flip City says I watched the Rick and Michonne one, but it's bad.
No, it says
she says it's not bad. Okay.
Not bad. Yeah.
But she says I'm out after 2 episodes of anything if they haven't captured me. That's the thing. With a lot of these premium shows like HBO shows and stuff, they take their sweet time before they sink the hook. Like it took several episodes to get hooked on True Blood, Spartacus, several episodes before you're truly hooked and like, okay, I need to see what happens. There's that turning point.
Spartacus, I loved that show. That first season was brilliant.
Agreed.
I couldn't help that, the main guy ended up dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the guy they got to replace him did really well.
But after that first season, it started on a decline for me, and I stuck with it. I knew how it was going to end anyway, but I stuck with it just to finish the story.
Yeah.
The second season was okay, because it was, the time before.
Yeah.
And then they led into the end of the first season again, and then third
that
season.
That was just to hopefully give him time to recover. Because he had lymphoma or something.
It was bad.
Something. Yeah. But he ended up taking a turn for the worse, and then they just they passed the torch, and he even gave him, the new guy, his blessing to continue on. And I remember that much. And I think this other dude's name is Liam something or other, but I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
But I digress. So we all know that Homelander is a garbage human being in the comics and the TV show. If you think the comics are, the show's bad, he's worse in the comics. So, but yeah, so let's get into this. We're half hour in. Have we watched anything else? Homelander, 1923, I think.
Yeah.
So we watched that. We're not caught up on that. We have one more episode before tomorrow. What day is it? Sunday, before Sunday. So yeah. So we're just up to watching our regular shows, weekly shows. The president addressed whomever, I forget, but so that erased our Tuesday shows. So we normally watch Will Trent and Rookie on Tuesdays, but that erased the Tuesday shows because of the address to whomever, some Congress maybe, I forget. Whatever. I said I don't like politics, so there it is. But yeah. So let's dive into the movies. We had suggested The Gorge in hopes that we could get Derry back, but he unfortunately won't be back this week or probably next week, it looks like. He's, on a side quest, so to speak. So, but what did you think of The Gorge? Pumaira.
Oh,
go.
Okay. I loved it. That is a love story I could get behind. Finally, something that's good. The creativity with the monsters that were in the gorge was pretty awesome. How they merged with the plants. Yeah.
So, okay, the premise of the story. Zombie, you want to give that a go?
Okay, all right.
Trying to
So
break it down.
So pretty much, there's a ravine somewhere in the northern hemisphere. That's all we really know. We don't know the location. It's on 24-hour guard. They rotate the guards every 365 days.
Yep.
God help you if you serve on a leap year. You got an extra day. Sucks for you. That's not the case in this movie, though. So no, you got a west tower and an east tower. You know, one person in each tower. You're forbidden from contacting each other.
Yep.
You're supposed to stand guard to. They never really say anything about keeping people from going in. But you're supposed to keep stuff from coming out.
Yeah.
And that's really all the information.
And they have tons of resources to.
Yeah.
So they have like bombs lowered in. They have machine guns, turrets,
mines.
and mines, and then they have cloakers that mask the gorge from things like Google Earth and things like that.
Found by satellite imaging. Yeah. So there's these radar dishes every so many yards, and they pretty much broadcast a phantom signal to make it look like it's just a normal spot on Earth or whatever. So you can't really see into it too far because there's clouds. Hang on 1 second. Thank you. Fresh water. There's like a not clouds. There's like a mist,
fog,
kind of haze inside the gorge. So, we meet our main guy, and he's kind of like retired military loner type of character. Nothing really to live for except for the next mission, which he does a lot of freelance stuff. And
hang on, I'm glad. That's the reason we give you these assignments.
Yes. So he gets assigned to one particular tower,
West Tower.
Yeah, and then earlier, actually, when the movie first starts, we meet the female character.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she's a sniper. We see her take this impossible shot right from the get-go, so she's playing a badass.
Yeah.
So she gets assigned to the other tower. So a few months go by or whatever, and they so far haven't had any kind of incidents. It's been kind of quiet. They've just kind of been doing their own thing. And then our female character, her name is Drasa.
Yeah,
I think was her name. It ends up her birthday comes around, and she makes first contact with what's the guy's name? Was it Jake or something? I can't remember.
I forget. I'm bad with names.
So we'll just say Jake. Probably not it. But so yeah, she makes first contact. She takes out a pistol and fires a shot in the air, and he looks, and they've got these binocular kind of things mounted on stands, and she's got a notepad, and just like it's my birthday. She introduces herself, and his first response back was, "We're not supposed to communicate with each other." Right. But before that, he was kind of watching her a little bit, and I found it super creepy. Not that he was trying to look in on her or whatever thing, but every time he did, she knew.
Yeah,
she could sense him looking at her through the So and I chalked that up to I don't know, sniper's intuition or something like that.
Right.
You feel eyes watching you, and you somebody's looking.
Yeah.
So, and it plays like that through the entire movie if you pay attention. It's like even all the way to the end, it's like she knew. So anyway, so they make contact, and they're writing notes back and forth to each other or whatever, and they find out, they're both a pretty good shot, and like she takes the first shot, he leaves something on one of the railings or whatever, and he's trying to just blow it off like, I don't care, I'm not talking to you or whatever, and she pops a shot off and some kind of glass thing shatters. Yeah, so that catches his attention. It's like, oh, you're a good shot. So she's got like a wine bottle or something because she's celebrating her birthday. She's got a wine bottle out, and she walks inside, and as soon as she walks back out, pop, that champagne bottle just bursts because he took his shot, so they go back and forth a little bit, and then she gets a little crazy, and she puts one of the bottles on her head, and she's like, trying to prepare, and I'm going, oh God, this isn't going to end well. And then like shit gets real all of a sudden. Like that's when you see, she notices movement or whatever coming from the gorge. Mm-hmm. And that's when these creatures start trying to scale the wall, trying to come up. So wait, let me back up a little bit. So the previous guy that we see that was stationed at our guy Jake's location, in his debriefing, like it was like they kill you once you're done protecting this area for a year. So that's like right from the start, once, because they follow the other guy a little bit when he gets picked up, and they got him on the helicopter and they thank him for his service, and so
they're like, hey, can you confirm your name and date of birth? And
like
rattles it off, and they're like, boom.
Unbeknownst to them, like they don't know this is going to happen to them. Like Jake and Drasa don't know, once their year is up, like their ticket's getting punched for real.
Yeah.
So they're,
regardless of whether or not they do anything.
Right.
Yeah, and so they're pretty much like she's shooting these creatures crawling up his side while he's trying to shoot them, and then the explosions are happening, and we get kind of sneak peeks of the creatures that are coming from the gorge and everything. And if you pay attention, they almost kind of have human faces. So you're like, what's that all about? I didn't expect that at all. Like I was thinking like, this is because the previous guy said, this is pretty much, consider it the portal to hell, and you're standing watch. Keep shit from coming out of the gorge. That's your job here.
Yep.
And that's what they did that night. They held down the fort and blew shit up and killed some stuff and protected the gorge.
And then you see him the next day repairing some of the crap that they destroyed, and he's
they're down there welding, like fencing back together, and reestablishing the hanging mines and stuff, and and while he's suspended, this drone pops up out of the gorge, and he's looking at it like, what the hell is this? And he looks over at Drasa, and she's like, I don't know, and then they show the sensors for the rail guns, the turrets, go offline. And then the drone like transforms, like, and it like shoots off. It's like, oh, we got fucking Transformers in this fucking movie now. Does Michael Bay know about this?
Maybe.
So no,
I liked it. I thought that was cool.
But yeah, it continues like that for a little bit, and it's not an every night thing where these creatures are trying to scale the wall and get out. But I think the reason why they did that night is because Drasa was blasting music. Like she had put those speakers facing out towards him because she was celebrating. It was her birthday, you know. So these creatures were like,
"Oh, there's activity.
We're pissed. We want out." I don't know. Maybe they weren't a fan of the music.
Or the gun shop.
I thought the music selection in this movie was pretty good. I mean, like it's got a great soundtrack to it, So I don't know, months go by and it's inevitable. You've got a man on one side and a woman on the other. They're going to find a way to meet somehow. And he does, February 14th rolls around and she's upset and she's crying because of a conversation that she had with her father earlier in the movie, because he wasn't doing well. He had, cancer or something like that. And he pretty much told his daughter, because after her missions, she would go see her father, and she kept the shell casing of the bullets. And that was kind of her way of carrying around her grief and her sorrow for taking a life. Mm-hmm. And she would end up giving that to her father, and her father would tell her, let me carry that for you. Let it go. But he also, first he begged her to stay with him for a little while. And she told him, well, I can't. I have another mission coming up, which was to be stationed at the tower, which she didn't know a whole lot about. But he told her, well, if February 14th rolls around and I'm still here, know that I won't be. I'm taking matters into my own hands. That's when I'll do it. Meaning take his own life. And he told her to look towards Orion's belt and know that I made it there.
Yeah, he entered the Hunter's Moon.
Right. So he was, so she was upset, obviously, because she knew what that date meant now. Mm-hmm. And he saw that she was upset because he was looking at her again like a creep. And she writes to him, I wish you were here. So then he starts putting a plan into motion. I'm gonna get over there.
Yeah.
He pretty much makes a zip line with an RPG.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's a will, there's a way, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm going into all of that because he does make it across. They poke fun at each other a little bit, teasing each other, saying funny quips back and forth and everything, and have dinner, and all this nice stuff happens. And on his way back across, those creatures try crawling up again. And then there's this explosion, and then a piece of shrapnel as he's trying to cross back over, like cuts the zip line. So he's down. He's in the gorge now. He's going down. So he finds himself in a world of shit. Mm-hmm. He's got a parachute on, and then her seeing him fall down there, she starts grabbing her equipment and stuff, straps on a chute, and just jumps off. She's going after him. So he kind of wakes up, and you're kind of, he's upside down. Everything's kind of got this yellow mustard gas kind of looking fog around them and everything. And he comes to. Meanwhile, she's crash landed in the stream, being swept away and tangled in her parachute. Yeah. So, and he's trying to cut himself free while this giant monster centipede thing's coming after him. Yeah. And he hits the ground, and then the tree starts trying to eat him. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Right. So, they get out of it and all that kind of stuff, and they meet each other, and it's like a hellscape down there. All kinds of
really
weird,
is.
Like skeleton plant looking things, and there's these others like Pumira, like you said, like these plant tree people down there. And we find out the whole reason why they look the way they do, and what's really down there in the bottom of the gorge. And there's agendas driven by shadow organizations, and they're the reason why in secret the two guards there at the two towers. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that's been kept secret, and while they're down there fighting for their lives, trying to figure out how they're going to get back up, they discover all the secrets. Like, you get your answers of what the creatures are, why they look the way they do, where they came from,
who the drones are from,
how it all started. You get your answers in this movie. They don't leave anything hanging.
Right.
And I don't want to spoil all that for you. So everything I've told you pretty much happens in the first 30 minutes of the movie. So for those of you that haven't watched it, do I recommend watching it? Yes.
Yes.
This is an Apple production. And I can't believe I'm saying that about an Apple production anything, because I've not been a fan of Apple produced things. Like I find their writing lacking. The action sequence happened in the last 5 minutes of whatever it is that you're watching, whether it be TV show or movie, which pisses me off. Like, that's too much buildup, especially for a TV series. If you're watching a TV series with stuff like giant monsters and stuff that you know that's supposed to be in it, but then you wait to the last 5 minutes of the show to show the monster, and then you roll the credits, and then the next episode it's more of the same damn thing. Like talk, giant monster, roll credits.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that is how they have been doing their.
I can't stand that. This movie is not like that. This movie definitely has depth.
King of the Monsters or whatever.
It's got great character development. I think I chased Pumira away. No, the characters I find are very relatable. Sigourney Weaver's in it as the big bad boss lady, which you gotta love that. She plays a good, like, lead, like, executive villain.
Yeah.
Like, in her age that she is now. She's good at that. But yeah, no, you get your answers. You get your resolution. There's good drama. There's good action. Like Pumira said, it's a love story because these characters really do fall in love with each other. It's not, like a longing from a long distance the whole time. Yeah. They really do, like, fall in love with each other because it's like they're two pieces of the same whole. They complete each other.
So to speak.
I think it's a really well done movie.
Yeah. So let's get to ratings here. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
4.5.
All right. 4.5.
I agree. 4.5.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things in it that kind of I can't give that half star fully for a 5. It's
it's 4.5 across the board because I really enjoyed it. Like, I was surprised that I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it's like there were things and creatures that were so cool that I haven't ever seen before in anything that I can even think of. Like,
right.
Well, I will say, at first, they kind of reminded me, it was almost like The Last of Us kind of thing with the cordyceps and, the way certain things looked and everything. And I thought that was the direction they were going to go. They never say that.
Nope.
But it's kind of a similar thing, but, like, it's on the same parallel. It's not the same. Yeah. It's similar, but it's done a little bit different.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, no, I can agree with you on there. Like, I loved the skull spiders. In the church,
was interesting.
I was like, oh my god, that's so brilliant. That's creepy as hell,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, there was a my friend was. Goes back a long time ago. My friend was terrified of spiders, and he had Resident Evil, and we were playing through Resident Evil, and we get to this one boss where it is just a literal spider, and he was terrified. He was freaking out. Gave me the controller, and he was letting me do the work of shooting these spiders. But every time you shot one, they would explode and more would come out. And it was a constant stream. And he's over there, reach over and hits the power button and turns off the PlayStation. He did not have a memory card, so we lost all of our progress, and we had been trying to beat it in the same day. Lost all of our progress. He hit the button, the thing pops open, the PlayStation spinning the disc, and it's just like, he's just like,
only on screen. Come on. Right. No, my wife was kind of the same way with a game called Parasite Eve.
Oh, yeah.
So that one, there's like a female lead character in it or whatever, and then there's this contagion or something that can get into other creatures, and they show like once that happens, I think the first thing to get transformed by this parasitic thing was like a rat or something, and that like did her in, like that whole transformation sequence for it. And we're talking like, I don't know, PlayStation 2, something like. So this was like early. So you know what those graphics were like. She said I couldn't do it. I turned the game off. She couldn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the same thing. It was the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. We were sitting on the floor playing the controllers.
I don't know. I've never been that terrified of a video game.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone has their thing, I guess. So I don't know.
That's a weird thing to be afraid of, but okay.
But yeah, it definitely reminded me of that. So there's these things crawling around here, thinking like, oh man, oh no, that's not good. I don't know. So like I said, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
All around. So
did we watch the movie all the way through? I didn't have to take a nap.
Yes.
So that means it's a good movie, guys.
and you had already worked the whole day, and then came home, and we decided to go ahead and watch it. We would try to watch it, maybe finish it up the next day. We watched it all the way through. Didn't need to stop. So that was a miracle. So
thank you.
There you go. Yeah. No, so I do have to say, so Anya Taylor-Joy, I think looks really good with the short black hair, because usually she's in movies and she's got the long blonde hair and whatever. I'm so used to seeing her that way. It like I knew it was her just looking at her face, but it's like, wow, she's transformed by that look.
Yeah.
To separate herself, from her other characters in the movies or whatever. I was like, wow, that's, and all it is a different hair color and hairstyle.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you look a lot different. It's like if I was to cut my hair and come in one day and I'm, it's a short hair, it's like, oh, who is that?
I can't imagine that ever happening. But I really like Anya Taylor-Joy, however you want to say her name, but I loved her in Queen's Gambit, and I thought it was funny. There was a chess scene where they're playing back and forth chess long distance. So I thought that was a fun little nod.
Oh yeah. Role. He didn't know how to move right or something. He didn't move a piece right. He didn't. No shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way over there. Again, how'd she see that?
She had the binoculars.
No, that's crazy.
Still, yeah, I don't know. So I really liked it. So let's talk about the other movie.
Oh, wait! Before we move on to the other one, I want to go back to like the music choices and everything that was in this movie.
Okay,
I thought the score was great. It had this like old school 80s horror, almost sci-fi kind of sound, like the creepiness of the score music, not just the music tracks, but the score itself was really well done.
Yeah,
like it wasn't, it didn't sound like a bunch of canned samples thrown together to try and make something creepy or whatever. No, it had sounds in it that I don't think I've ever heard before. So, really well done.
They definitely played. They definitely played around like who was it? Hans Zimmer or something, and I can't remember now, but like the Joker soundtrack where they like had the raking like on the the weird score.
They had a little bit of that in it, but there was more like the sounds were almost warped, like Like you've got that typical type of screeching horror kind of string thing, whatever it is that they do, and this was beyond that. Like it was really
they didn't stop there.
Yeah, no, it's
which I thought was great.
Yeah,
and it feels so weird to be like gushing over this movie that is considered a romantic movie. It's like, that's weird, because especially Humaira, she refuses to watch sappy rom-com type movies, so she's not into that. I mean,
that just goes to show how well the writing was.
Exactly.
It's a good story. It's compelling. I mean, the movie The Crow is a romantic movie if you break it down. The guy comes back from the dead to avenge his wife or his fiance's murder.
That's awesome.
I mean, so, but anyway, okay, we'll move on because we're in it for an hour now. So hey, Road Pig John.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah,
hey,
just popped in. We just got done talking about The Gorge. If you hadn't seen it, it's a good movie. We all love it. Go watch it.
Yep. All right. So Army of the Dead. Mm-hmm. I keep screwing that up. There's ridiculous.
So many movies out there that something of the dead. Which I'm surprised there's not a movie out there called Something of the Dead.
Dead of the Dead. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I don't know.
So this one was a suggestion of our guest from last week. What you got to help me with her name because I'm terrible with names.
Oh, Addie,
yes.
Addie.
Yeah,
okay.
Addie.
I almost said Abby too, and I was like, that's not right. So, how did you get to join the live viewing last night?
I did.
I did.
I watched it, but Humaira and I had already started watching it, and I was like, but can we just wait? And then when we start playing it here, I'll come over there and watch it from my recliner and with you. And can't we do that? She's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to take a nap. So she went off and took a nap. I'm like, all right, so I guess I'll join the watch party. And I watched it all the way through, and then we finished it up again later that night. So I've seen it twice.
Which is funny because I watched The Gorge twice. Because confession, I actually watched that movie last week, and I'm like, I've got to suggest this one for the TV show. I mean, for our show.
Yeah.
So I watched that one twice, and then I loved it. I still loved it. So So Army of the Dead. How'd the party go?
It went fine. I don't think is Pop still around? Does he want to comment on what he gives it? But he didn't give me a rating, but he seemed to be entertained. Levi also joined us, and he was entertained.
So this was a Jack Snyder.
Zack
film, right?
Snyder.
Zack Snyder. Yeah. Whatever. Same difference.
Yeah, and here I didn't know this, but not only did it have Dave Bautista, it had Hiroyuki Sanada, my favorite dude from Shogun, thank you.
Yeah.
And it was wild. And then it's like, oh wow, this is directed by Zack Snyder. It's like, dude, this is actually interesting. And okay, so here's something that
You're blown away by the opening credits already.
Yeah.
What?
We're just listening.
What?
Gosh, go ahead.
Oh, no. So
he's lost. He doesn't know what's happening.
No, I don't. You're over there talking behind me, and I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway,
no, I'm just saying you're already blown away by the opening credits here.
Well, yeah, it's serious. I didn't know. It's just like, oh, this is so cool. I didn't realize Zack Snyder directed this. And so we get into it.
Say that.
Huh?
I said you did say that.
I know, I did. I'm fully admitting it.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short. Well, there's nothing short about this, but still. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
I think I know what you're going to say. Should I just say it? The prequel?
No. I'll get to that.
Got nothing.
So yeah, I was surprised. This also, as most folks say, that they're tired of Zack Snyder and tired of his slow-mo moments and like almost bullet time type reaction, like special effects. I don't think there was very many, if any at all, during this movie. I cannot recall a single time that they slowed down, except for the opening credits when they were going through that was a little slowed down, but that was it.
There was maybe one, maybe.
Yeah, I'm having trouble figuring it out.
Around it had something to do with the safe cracking, like not opening, but the closing of it. That I don't want to spoil it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
That was probably slowed down for dramatic effect, not how he normally almost uses it as like a crutch that some people harp about. But like I said, I found it entertaining.
Yeah, it wasn't in any of the action sequences.
No.
Yeah.
Normally, they're like shooting bullets and things are flying.
Yeah, and it like super zooms in on the bullets. Yeah. No, there was none
of that.
Yeah.
It was very clean cut, and I'm glad. Like it just didn't feel like a Zack Snyder movie.
So this movie probably comes the closest to answering how the zombie apocalypse begins out of any movie that I've ever seen. Like it still doesn't show the origin of whatever turned the first person.
Mm-hmm.
But in this movie, the zombie apocalypse began with a BJ. So you have your answer. How did this all get started?
Exactly.
Kumar's over there saying like, oh wow, blah blah blah.
All this happened because of a BJ, and he goes, "Well, there's not a bad time. There's never a bad time for a BJ." I'm like,
well, there was for that one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I said this is probably the only time where you'll see that there's evidence of it being a bad time to have a BJ.
I'm glad you.
That is what I was saying. Because that's the point. That's the point that they're all trying to get to. It's just like,
so don't do that and drive. Got it.
No. That's the whole point of Roadhead.
It's like, no. Wait a minute. Let's not be hasty.
Never. All right. I'm done. Yeah, I'm not. No, not dealing it. Anyway. That doesn't happen in this household, okay? Anyway. So, yeah, it felt like they were all saying, oh, all of this happened because of a BJ. But, she's over there saying, like, oh, well, there's obviously a bad time to do it. It's like, no, there's never a bad time.
Oh, my.
I digress. But I really...
Yes, we're at that show again.
Yeah, it is what it is. If you don't like it, you know where the door is. It's the little...
I mean, I'm the one that brought it up.
Right.
The little X right there. Oh, my.
Yeah. Well, in my case, on a Mac, it's the red light over here. Hit the red light.
Oh.
Close out the window. Anyway. But yeah, so I really liked that it started essentially from a person instead of going through the process of growing it in a lab. They just cut straight to it.
Oh,
That's one thing I appreciated.
because the subject Zero, or whatever you want to call him, is in a secure container, and there's a military escort leaving. They even say they're leaving Area 51. So
Right.
do with that what you will. But the two drivers
They're
handling the transport, they're going back and forth trying to figure out, one of them says, what if it's Sasquatch, or what if it's what if it's this, or what if it's that, and then the driver's like, well, you know where we just came from, right? So and they're like,
Alien, Roswell, like
right, Patterson Field, and so I mean, the location, where they came from,
right?
And they're going, no, what if it's like the big one, and that's when shit blows up and all hell breaks loose, and
and they're like, shit's about to get real when they're like, just leave it. If they can walk, run, get away from there.
Because they call
what
in.
What are you talking about?
After the accident, they call in for assistance and what should they do and everything, and I don't know, their operator or whatever is asking them questions. Is the asset contained still, or how's the transport?
It seems compromised.
Yeah, it's compromised, and that's when she's like, "Get out of there now, run!
Yeah.
Whoever can walk, run, get away.
Leave them
now,
if they can't.
Leave the area."
Right?
Yeah, that didn't help.
Nope.
Oh,
because this was like super zombie.
Yeah.
And of course, they're right outside Vegas. So the thing that I liked about the opening was it kind of introduced most of the characters that we're going to follow through the movie in the opening title sequence. Like, you get to see stuff going down. There's Vegas showgirls going after the bigwigs of the casino. All hell's breaking loose. Our strike team is coming together. They're meeting each other. They're surviving the best they can. One dude's got a big circular saw.
Yeah.
Cutting the zombies up.
Which was so cool.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of alluding to on the interview we did for the Space Zombies from Mars guys.
Yeah.
Because that one silhouette really reminded me of that apparatus for the big saw blade, and it looked like it had the gut splatter coming off. It was just this big circular thing with a little hole in it, and then there's like blood splatter. I'm like, is that what I think it is?
Right.
Because I've seen this movie before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to give away their secrets, and they weren't going to tell us anyway. But still, that kind of brought this memory back of this movie and that character, and the one woman who we never really know her name, I guess. I don't know, but she's looking for her daughter. Obviously, they're separated and everything. And you see just this heartbreak that character goes through, and she's finding all these clothes that look like clothes that her daughter might have worn, and she's not finding her daughter. And then finally she finds her daughter, and they're trying to cordon off, by the end of the opening sequence, they're trying to cordon off Vegas. They've got it surrounded by barricades and shipping containers and stuff, and they get overwhelmed, and she gets tripped up, and her daughter is, she's at safety and everything. And then she turns back around, and they embrace as they're being swarmed. And the last container just comes down and flattens them. It's like, God, what a way to open a movie.
Yep.
Right. Ugh.
The movie gonna get smacked.
Yeah, but then after that, our team that we've kind of been introduced through this opening sequence, through the opening credits, they all go their separate ways, we find out, and then here comes your Japanese guy trying to assemble the crew back because, he tells them there's 50 million in a safe, in my casino.
He promises them 50 million if...
Well, no, he doesn't promise them the whole 50. Like, I don't know. There's some outlandish... I guess he does. It is 50 million, and he splits it up however he wants. So anyway,
right.
it's basically he's trying to double down.
Yeah.
Is what
This is
his
money I've already been reimbursed for.
Yeah.
Untraceable, taxable, all that.
And there's come to find out the president of the United States has ordered a nuclear strike on Vegas and
arranged it to happen on 4th of
July 4th. Yeah.
Right.
So which is important for later on in the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So anyway, shit happens, and we get introduced to that crew officially through the this part of the movie and everything, which my favorite character out of all of them is probably the helicopter pilot.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's just this
Hilarious.
take no shit, very sarcastic, witty, and smart. Fucking smart.
Yeah.
Because when they all come together and they're in Vegas and everything, she points out, hey, what's
the pecking order?
Yeah, because obviously Safecracker Boy, he's number one. He's top
Right.
priority. We got to protect him at all costs, because without him, we're not getting into that safe. I got to be number 2, right? Because I'm our way out.
Right.
I'm pretty important. You can't fly the helicopter without me. It's not happening. So she's
Right.
right off the bat, y'all better protect me.
Right.
Right.
But then, as we go through, there's, they call her the Coyote, which is kind of a term based off of, something that is real here. You got people that are called coyotes that smuggle people across borders and stuff. So that's what this character pretty much is. And that's how they get into Vegas, because remember, it's all cordoned off and everything.
Yeah.
And
She
she's telling
smuggles people into the quarantine zone.
Right. I mean, people, there's a lot of people have their own reasons for wanting to go in or whatever. So, yeah, she tells them, look, the situation isn't what you think it is inside there.
Yeah.
Whatever you think it is, it's not. And right when they open the doors to get in, everybody's expecting to be, bum rushed by the undead. But instead, there's all these burnt and dried up corpses all around them up in piles. And she says, oh yeah, no, they look inactive right now, but just wait till it rains. They all come back to life for a few hours. So I thought that was kind of neat. Oh, they're just all kind of, they're dehydrated, That's, so that was kind of a neat little, I haven't, throughout the zombie genre, I haven't seen that.
No.
Ever, I think.
Yeah, I don't recall it ever, the movies I've seen anyway.
But yeah, and then they ended up, so the Coyote was like, yeah, no, we need one more guy before we get in, So they took the asshole guard or whatever that was a problem in the encampment,
in the refugee camps.
Yeah. So they brought him in, and she totally brought him in for a sacrifice, because what she was alluding to was there's a group of the undead that are different.
Yep.
They're not mindless.
They're smart.
Yeah, they're calculating.
And they're fast.
Yeah, so
they call them, the difference, I think they call them alphas versus shamblers.
Right. So she totally sacrificed that dude. She shot him in the leg and offered him up as sacrifice to the group to basically kind of buy them some time in the city. Because she's like, yeah, as long as we stay hidden after this, we'll be good for a little while.
Yeah.
Before we have to do it again. So, and they did. They totally offered that guy up.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm not walking their streets. If we're gonna continue push forward and continue on, we're going inside." So, yeah.
And then we're introduced to the zombie tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a zombie tiger. I thought of Lori, whom we had on the show not too long ago. I was just like, oh, we need to have him go up against Big James.
That would be an
so
interesting fight. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's like I wonder who would win, Big James or this whatever zombie, this tiger
I
zombie.
don't know. I think
So I pointed out in the watch stream last night. I was like, okay, so if you get bit by a tiger zombie,
Ooh.
do you turn into a cat, feline, whatever zombie, or do you just continue to live on?
That's a good question.
It's like that would it be. It's. I'm dying to know.
Yeah, you're just well. I don't know, because that one's in this movie. That one's kind of tricky because we find out that it's actually infected with the alpha part of the virus, because they're the first one, the guy, zombie from the very beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously his hair's longer or whatever. It's the same. It's the same zombie.
Yeah.
He's established himself as like King Zombie there.
Yeah.
So. And when he gathers up his army, his horde, like the tiger is included in that. Like we see that, like that tiger is obeying him. Yeah. So obviously it's got that alpha strain of whatever the virus is or whatever. So if you're bitten by that one, I guess you just kind of fall in line with the rest of the alpha zombies.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
So
I'm
to the club.
I'm hoping that they would maybe sprout a little tail or something.
That's so cute.
No, seeing the zombie tiger reminds me of another zombie movie that I've seen, and I can't remember the name of it, but it also had like a big cat zombie, but that was like that was a big reveal for the end of the movie. Like there was some setup where these people had heard about an island that was safe, and they were trying to get to it or whatever. And that cat zombie, I guess it was a cat. I don't know. It could have been something else, but I keep thinking maybe lion or something.
Yeah.
But it was at the harbor where all the boats were. So it was at the end of the movie.
Huh.
So there's another zombie cat out there somewhere in another movie. And I can't remember what that one was. I've seen so many of them. I can't keep them straight. But yeah, no. This one, I mean, it's your typical, zombie fare. They've got a mission that they're trying to accomplish. And,
it's zombie / heist film.
Yeah.
They're trying to accomplish their goal, and they come across another set of plans and another team that has been sent in there already, so they know they're not the first. So it's like, oh boy.
Yeah. So was there any kind of standout scenes or anything for you guys besides the tiger?
The tiger, yeah. Okay, so the thing that I was really intrigued by was the whole alpha bit. No pun intended. Alpha bit. Space that. Okay?
Yeah. Not serious.
Not alphabet. Anyway, so apparently not only
I agree,
they can either she was pregnant already, the queen was pregnant already, or got pregnant.
They can recreate.
Yeah, so they can. So that made me like question, like, wait a minute, was she pregnant before, or did he impregnate her?
Right.
So it's like, can they reproduce?
Right.
And then it raised the question of, okay, if a zombie ends up being a stillbirth, is it alive? Does it wake up as a zombie?
I kind of took it as that was definitely his child.
Yeah.
So I definitely think they could procreate in this movie.
Yeah. So
Because
another
just
thing that
crazy.
intrigued me,
his reaction
Yeah.
from
Right.
you know, out of what happened, that kind of, you know, I mean, you could tell she was pregnant after we meet that particular zombie, and she goes back with, you know, the other group's offering
Mhm.
drags and kicking and screaming in, and then, you know, our lead zombie guy comes in, and he's like, yeah, he's got his
He
ear up her
listens.
belly. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
she's pregnant.
Yeah. It's
Holy
like
crap.
so it made me wonder. It's like, I was like, wait a minute, is he listening because she's pregnant, or is he listening because if her tummy growls, that means they get to eat? But he stood
Oh,
up
no.
and was just like,
I like that
ah,
one.
and then
Yeah.
every one of the alphas started cheering too.
That makes sense now.
Realizing she was pregnant, I think that I'm leaning more towards at least he was able to procreate.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, you know, when we first see him, he's obviously a military guy. You know, when he breaks out of the container in the beginning of the movie, he's got very short hair and everything. And when we see him again years later, he's got long hair.
Mm-hmm.
So his hair and everything is still growing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's layers here.
Yeah.
To the
That's what I've been
particular
thinking
zombies.
about, you know?
You know, and he's smart enough. He's got like a mask,
Yeah.
which
That
you
was
know,
another thing that was so cool.
yeah, and that's another thing that made me think about the Space Zombies from Mars Kickstarter, was that one character that comes with that crown. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I bet you they're a fan of this movie. I should have asked, and there was so much going on that night.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up. But yeah.
So those are definitely the standout moments for me, for sure. But at the end of this movie, I discovered that there is a prequel to this movie called
Really?
Land of Thieves. And I'm wondering if, because they had the one guy who was the safecracker, he's also in this movie. So so it made me wonder. It's like, okay, he's doing a heist type thing with a different crew, but I believe it shows clips of what is happening in Las Vegas. So it makes me wonder. It's like, oh wait, that's interesting.
Huh.
They're
check
almost they're in the same universe, but they don't directly mention that it's the same movie. Which also makes me wonder. It's like, okay, now there's that one dude who ends up surviving. He's landing in Mexico. Is there going to be a third one that follows him and whatever shenanigans he gets into? Makes me wonder.
So what's the name of that movie?
Land of Thieves.
Land of Thieves. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I'll have to
also
look
on
that up.
Netflix. Yeah, so that's my thought. In addition to the other movies I suggested in the group chat, I was thinking this.
Okay.
Maybe we watch this week.
Huh. It would be interesting to make a comparison, see how they line up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for it. Before we get into this movie selections, though, we got to rate this thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to buy time for Pumar to get back, so that way.
Okay. All right. Well, because St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, I was trying to see if any of the Leprechaun movies, besides the first one, was streaming anywhere, and it is, but it's not. It's all like pay channels, so I don't know if you would have any of those, because last year we did the first Leprechaun movie.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe Leprechaun 2, but again, it's like I don't know if you guys would have access to it or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Hard to say. So we Humaira's back. We're gonna rate this movie. What do you think? Let's start with Humaira. What did you think of it?
4.5 again.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause she got pregnant.
It's the little zombie baby did it for her.
Yeah, it definitely
The two
intrigued
types
me
of
as well.
zombies,
So
the zombie baby.
the tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one thing that we were joking about in last night's draw stream, or not draw stream, the watch party. It was like that dude or the one chick who was hovering around with Batista's character. She just poured her soul out in the middle. It's like there's seconds to die, and she's pouring her soul out. Again, they still have time to make it out. But she's just like, whatever happened, I was waiting for you to do something, but you didn't. And blah, blah. And it's just like, shut up. Get your ass in gear. Get on the plane. Let's go. Get the money and go. Come on. No, she had to lay it all out. And it's just like, boom. Open the doors. She ends up dying. It's like, that's what you get, woman. Good grief.
Yeah.
You had to pour your soul out. Goodness. So we were all like, what on earth is she doing? They need to take off. Let's go.
Yeah, never confess your love in a horror movie because you're
right.
not gonna make it.
You're gonna die immediately.
and like, don't try to establish yourself as like the moral compass for the group or anything.
Like Walking Dead.
Right. Yeah, that's like
every single time.
That's a death sentence. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, no, we have to do this thing, and here's this inspirational thing, and then boom, dead.
Yeah. Don't do that. Okay. I have to go. I don't know. I gotta go with 3. I mean, it's not bad. It's not great. It's pretty typical zombie fare, I guess. Like you said, it's like a heist movie and a zombie movie mixed in a blender.
Yeah,
that's just kind of what you're gonna have to expect for this movie if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got great action sequences for a Schneider film, and without, like Dustin said, without the bullet time going off every 15 minutes. It's yeah, it's a little bit more palatable, I think.
Yeah, especially for those people that dislike him for that reason. So, but yeah, let's see. There's a comment. Oh, hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Anyway, so my rating. Let's see about getting back to it here. I'm gonna say 4. Yeah, because I enjoyed those particular sequences. I thought it was a decent movie. It's at the very least 3.5. It's very good, interesting concept, evoking, but I'm gonna push it up and say a 4 because I really, it really made me think, be like, oh man, that's so cool. I wonder,
right.
Made me think about that. So,
well, Dustin, you can write your own story with tiger zombie people in it if you want. Go for it. I don't think anybody's done it.
If so, no one's gonna have my perspective on it anyway. So, because I'm twisted. So, okay. So Josh says 5 stars for what? For Army of the Dead, or for the WW3 Fight Night that you're talking about?
Oh.
What?
Okay, so next week you said
Army of Thieves.
What is it called?
Army of Thieves.
Army of Thieves. Okay.
It's the prequel.
Yeah, it's the prequel.
Okay.
Let's see the other movies I suggested. I'm going to our chat here to see. See, it was in the group chat. Where is it? Bum bum bum. Okay. Oh yeah, there was this one that I thought looked good. It's Amazon Prime. It's called Mortal. Came out in 2020. And then there's the Calendar Killer that came out 2025. And it's also on Amazon Prime. Then on Amazon Prime or Tubi, The Hangman that came out in 2024.
Wow.
Or I Am Rage. It's also Amazon or Tubi. You can find that. And that came out in 2023.
Huh. I can't say that I've heard of any of those.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I looked them up and they all looked interesting, so to speak, but we have some time. Let me do this. I'm going to present and we'll go ahead and look at them.
Ooh, sorry. I don't mean to keep yawning.
It's all
Me
good.
Either. Me either.
Yeah.
I missed my nap today.
You poor thing.
You did.
Oh, come on.
I'm having the caffeine crash, so
Yeah.
I did not
so here we
manage myself well today.
share screen. Going to do IMDb.
HMPD Josh Perry, happy belated birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, man. I'm almost done with all the werewolf movies, he says.
Hats off to you. I can't say there's any genre that I've seen all of the movies to of anything.
Where is my
What are you trying to
here we go.
do?
Add to stage. Here we go.
Oh,
Go through the movies that he had suggested.
Mortal Kombat action there going on.
Nah, so here's Mortal. Came out in 2020. Fantasy adventure origin story about a young man discovering he has godlike powers based on an ancient mythology. Let's see.
Never heard of it.
A
Saban
lot
Films.
of people are wondering what happened last night with you and the boy.
I tried. You didn't listen to me. You didn't listen to me.
So this looks interesting.
If you touch me, you will burn.
Is this like an unbreakable kind of situation here?
Nah.
He says he discovers, young man discovering he has godlike powers.
Yeah, if you keep watching, you'll see.
Ooh, excuse me.
So
Do you believe me now?
he just burnt the table pretty good.
I'll buy
How
it.
does
So-
this happen to you?
I don't know.
So is it kind of like
I don't care
Burn
what
Bright,
he is.
maybe?
We need to find him quickly, get him under control.
Right. Well, let's just see.
Eric, stop this.
I can't.
Roll
He
Hunter.
cannot reach a city. You do agree with me, right?
what?
Sometimes bad things happen to good people.
So yeah, that
Yeah, let's piss off the guy with godlike power.
right.
That'll be fun.
Seems like a bad idea.
Who knows what you can achieve if you learn how to control it?
Oh, damn. What's the name of that movie? Oh, Hancock. Like, yeah, don't aim the gun at the guy that's bulletproof, maybe.
Right.
Which, that was a good movie, too. Hancock was, the way they handled certain situations and that, like, the part where they were arresting him and putting him in prison. It's like, he could really leave anytime he wants, right?
Right.
and then the guys that mess with him in the prison, and he tells them, if you won't leave me alone, I'm going to stick his head up your ass.
Right.
And then he does it.
Yeah.
If you touch me, you will burn.
I don't know. I don't really care. Y'all pick. So we got Army of Thieves and whatever.
I
there?
am Rage. Yeah. Am I still sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. There's also this one. I am Rage. That looks pretty interesting. Bum, bum, bum. Where's the synopsis? Jeez.
Right there.
An ancient cult embroiled in a sinister blood trade makes the deadly mistake of abducting a young woman with a violent, shocking past. I'm over here turning into oh my. So here's this.
It has been top notch. Love the masks. Very old school.
The blood in this country is good, but it comes at a premium price.
If your product is as good as I've been told, I'm here to make a deal.
Oh no.
Are you ready to scream?
It's got some sketchy acting in it.
Yeah.
The traces in her blood are remarkable.
I'm gonna kill you all.
I like the first one, Mortal.
All right. Mortal and
Army of Thieves.
Army of Thieves for next week. Bump dum. And Army of Thieves is
Netflix.
Let's see. It's
Hopefully.
Uh-oh. I thought you said it was.
Oh, I don't know.
Mortal is on Amazon Prime. So there's if you can't watch Mortal or Army of Thieves, I'm not sure what Pops will end up wanting to watch. But let me, how do I get back here? Okay, I'm on the screen. Okay. I'm just done.
Come on, buddy, you're with us.
I know. It's throwing me. This whole thing over here is throwing me.
I don't see what you see.
I know. I sent it to you, but it's this weird thing that keeps showing over here that, I can push it in maybe. There we go. And pull it out. But it's so weird.
What on earth?
That's what he said.
I can push it in. I can push it out. I would not push it in. I would not push it out here or there or anywhere. Anyway.
Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Yeah.
What?
I'm looking at the picture you sent.
Exactly. Thank you.
What?
That is weird.
Yeah. It keeps throwing me. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Am I in or am I not? Like, I had to wait. So, again, technical difficulties from on my side. So it's all good.
It wouldn't be our show if there weren't some kind of technical difficulties. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Just face it.
Hey,
one of these
we never
days,
claimed to be professionals here.
Yeah, one of these days we'll do it here. But yeah, so I'm going to.
We one day we'll actually have one of our opening sequences full screen again.
Yep. Yep. All right. So it is time to get off, so that way we can wrap up our everything. So let's see. Monday, coming up Monday, we have Ramen Toy on the show here live with us at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. In fact, I just confirmed with him like today or last night, that making sure we have the right time, because he's in a completely different time zone. He's in Hong Kong time. So making sure we're on the same page, because there's a lot of confusion. Oh, is it to 10:30 or 11? Anyway. So, yep. Monday nights, Ramen Toy in the house with us, and excited. So be sure to join us. And if you're buying anything from Super 7, I'd appreciate it if you use our code. It's going to help you. It's going to help me, So do that. And, don't be Palpatine. Don't be Kathleen Kennedy. That's a thing. I'm going to show that every episode now. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Where is the thing to wrap up? Oh, yep, there we go. All right, and until next time, Thunder Nerds Ho.